Hey, yo, what's up, peeps? How's it going? I'm feeling a lot better. I am feeling much better after the coughing fiasco of last week. Not to say I'm not going to cough in this video because even though I'm on a steroid and breathing treatment, I do feel better enough to do this video, but still not 100%. So I do have my water here just in case. I should have a cough drop, but I forgot to grab one. So yesterday these pictures hit online, and I just want to talk about the I mean, we saw the test shot with him sitting down, putting on his boots and all that stuff with the green screen and all that crap behind. Now we actually get to see it like on set actually being filmed, and I just kind of want to give my thoughts on it because I see the discourse. Of course there's going to be discourse, right? There's always going to be a group of people that love it, a group of people that hate it. I actually fall right in the middle as of, I like it. Let's see what happens. And the reason why I come across as that way is because a couple times in the past, I have been burnt by coming out and going, oh man, this costume looks like shit. And then when I see the final product, I'm like, oh man, I really like that costume. For example, the first Andrew Garfield Amazing Spider-Man movie, absolutely hated the costume. I was like, man, he looks like a basketball. It has a racing stripe down the side of his leg. Absolutely just hated the costume. Movie came out. Love the costume. I was actually mad when they changed it for the second film. Love that costume. I really wish they would have brought it back. But yeah, I was burnt on that one. Another one was Doctor Strange. I remember when Doctor Strange and Jutel Ejiofor's character was on set, much like this, and they were like walking down the street, and I'm like, man, these kind of look like cosplay. But then the movie came out, and I'm like, oh man, that looks awesome. So a lot of these set photos that we see, when we see the final product, it looks much better. So I really, for just to kind of give kind of context on the suit itself, like everybody of course is going to compare it to the Henry Cavill suit, but see, this is actually photoshopped right here because his suit was not that colorful. And that was one of the biggest complaints about Man of Steel, was the costume and the colors were very muted. You look over at Marvel and everything was bright and vibrant. Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, these were bright characters, right? And it really felt like the comic book was coming off screen. And then you look over at DCEU and you have a very muted blue and Superman, and then a very dark costume, of course, with Batman, and even Wonder Woman's costume was very dark, and that was the tone that Snyder was going for, and I like and appreciate that tone. But there was a group of audience that was like, man, we want a more bright, colorful DC, and that's where I think James Gunn is going with this. So just for reference, you know, this costume right here is not that colorful if you go watch the movie. So here's my initial thoughts, and like I said, people are going to be comparing the two back and forth. James Gunn, to me, went with a more traditional Superman suit, which I can really appreciate. You even see the yellow S on the back, which don't correct me if, I mean, you can go ahead and correct me if I'm wrong, because I could be mistaken. I think the last time that S was on the back of the costume was Christopher Reeve's costume or Brandon Routh's costume. So, oh, excuse me. Remember I told you I had that coughing problem? But I really like the classic yet modern take on it. You have the collar, you gain back the trunks. I love the bright blue. I love the bright red and yellows. I love it, right? I want James Gunn to make this their Captain America. You know, when you go back and you look at the MCU film, man, when Captain was on, when Cap was on screen, you just felt warm and fuzzy inside. Like, man, things are dark, but when Cap is there, I feel relieved. I feel like there's a sense of we can all relax. Things are going to be okay in the darkest times. And that's something I think the MCU has been missing since Cap left, personally. But James Gunn has the ability to make this their Captain America, their leader of the DCU. And I really like the look of it, the colors of it. My biggest gripe, and I think a lot of people's biggest gripe, is this part right here, right? I think anybody can look at the costume and like, it looks a little baggy, right? It kind of looks like David Cornsweet went into his father's closet and tried on his clothes, his suit and stuff. You know, it's like baby Cornsweet went into his papa's closet and tried his dad's clothes on. You all remember doing that as a kid, right? Whether you're a male, female, you're a woman, you went in your mom's closet, tried on her clothes. If you're a boy, you went and tried your dad's clothes on, and it was like big and baggy. That's what I'm kind of looking at right here. And the reason why I'm holding my final thoughts on it, and I'm holding like true to like things happening, is because a lot of this stuff can probably, I'm not saying it will be, but a lot of it can be touched up in post-production. We see Tom Holland's Spider-Man costume. The suit that he's filming with looks completely different than the final product on screen, because they go in post-production and add a lot of CG with the webbing and all that. Like, the webbing is sticking out of his costume. They're on set, but when they do the CGI, the webbing is embedded in the suit. All kinds of different special effects. And that's why I really look back and say, okay, let's hold judgment until we actually see the suit in the actual trailer. When we get to see the trailer and see even live action, then we can really kind of give a judge for it. Right now, I'm just judging on the stylistic of it, the colors, and the classicness, and I love it, man. Like, I'm finding myself getting more and more excited for this movie. Like, everything about it. Like, look at the set photos. This is supposed to be Cat Grant. There was all kinds of photos like right here with Lois. I'm super excited, man, because I love her in Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Just so much to really look forward to when it comes to this movie. Mr. Terrific, man, which they kept it pretty much just like the comics and what they did in CW. Of course, everybody, like, you got people with their jokes, Nike and Psych and whatever, man, you know. But yeah, man, this is what really gets me excited, is stuff like this right here. Like, just seeing these two, and Lois looks just like the iteration from the comic books, and I'm just like, I'm talking about the more recent comic books, just absolutely just phenomenal, man. And I am really looking forward to this movie the more and more we go through. So yeah, as for the costume, I personally like the costume. Again, I do see where some complaints are. It is a little baggy on David Corenswet. His name is David Corenswet, right? It's a little baggy on him. However, I feel like let's just wait and see how it looks in live action, because they could change things up. They can always do all kinds of different things within the post-production of it. So that's just my thoughts on it, guys. I know a couple people wanted me to give my thoughts on it, so that's my thoughts. But I want to know what you guys think. Be sure to leave your comments in the comment box below. Smash that like and subscribe button. And until next time, as always, I'm Robert Storms. That's my opinion. Peace out, sauerkraut.